welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on today's story time. Before we get into it, make sure you are subscribed, give this video a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, and turn on your post bell notifications. Also, before we get into it, one of our family members said that from now on she want me to start showing y'all my nails, so that's what I'm gonna do, because she said if I remember. And I remember, girl, because I went and got my nails done. Well, I was already gonna get them done, but it was like a couple days after you commented that. So these are my nails. They're just very simple this time. And if you didn't know by now, my favorite color is pink. So 9 times out of 10, I'm always gonna have some type of pink on my nails. So yeah, those are the nails. I wanted to do like chrome, but my nail guy didn't have chrome, so it's still cute. It's like a glitter. But yeah, so I'm gonna try to start remembering every time I get my nails done to show y'all, because she into that, and somebody else might be into that, they just didn't ask. So yeah, okay y'all. So also I got my hair done, but you can see that like I put on a little lash. Like, who am I today? Who am I? Okay, I'm sorry, I got a lot of energy right now. I don't know what I'm gonna title this video, but this is the time that I had to cut my cousin slash ex-best friend off because she was just too boy crazy, y'all. She did a lot. She did a lot. And I'm gonna tell y'all exactly what happened. So for the sake of this video, we are going to call her Amber. And there's other people in the story, but I feel like I'm gonna just give them fake names whenever they come up. Okay, so me and Amber pretty much like grew up together, but we didn't really become close until I got in high school. And not because I got in high school, like I was going to high school, but because like that was around the time that my parents had got a divorce and we moved in with my grandparents, and my grandparents stayed in the same neighborhood that Amber stayed in. So we went to the same church and all of that, and we just, I don't know, like we just started becoming cool and talking and stuff. And then I started seeing her at school, because now I'm in high school. She is a year older than me, so she was already in high school. Like she was in 10th grade when I was in the 9th grade. So we started hanging out and stuff like that. And honestly, y'all, I don't want to say that like our relationship started like bad. It was kind of like weird because like I told y'all before, I started cheering when I was in high school, and this was not something that I've been doing. Like, I wasn't one of those girls who've been in cheer and gymnastics and all that since they was like 3 years old. No, I just started liking cheering when I got in high school, and I just so happened to be good at it, so that's why I did it. Amber had been cheering all of her life, like all her life. So she was a cheerleader in middle school, but when she got to high school, for some reason, she didn't make the team all the times that she tried. So I made it, and like I said, like I had the help from like my older cousin or whatever. But I feel like don't like take away my credit. Like, yeah, my cousin like helped us or whatever, but like you still got to be somewhat good. Like you still got to have skill like to make the squad. Like I just already knew the routines like before everybody else. So I remember one time she had asked me like oh, when did you start like liking cheer, whatever like that? And I told her like, oh, like it was just like something that I wanted to try. I just so happened to be good at it, so that's why I'm a cheerleader. So she would kind of like, it was like she wouldn't like come out and say anything like directly, but you could just tell, because like she did not make the team like her 9th grade year, or she tried again her 10th grade year, which was when I had made the team. So it was just like kind of like, okay, like do you feel some type of way or what? Like I can't help that like I'm good, and I can't help that like you didn't make the team. Like I'm so sorry, Bookie, but that's just what it is. Like I don't know what to tell you. So that was weird, but it was nothing too weird to the point where like I was like, I don't want to like keep talking to her, being friends with her or nothing, but I just noticed that. So let me see, I'm gonna just tell y'all the events that led up to us falling out. Okay, so Amber was different, and I don't say that in like a bad way. So like the type of crowd that I used to hang around was like, I don't want to say like popular people. Like known people around the school, other cheerleaders, athletes, like, you know, just like cool people. Not saying that Amber was not cool, but she just was like a breath of fresh air, because like I was always hanging around like the same type of people. Like we hung out together, school together, we at the same, like we cheered, you were athlete, we at the same games, like we going to the same parties, the same kickbacks. Like I'm always around the same crowd of people. So Amber was like very quiet, she was like a bookworm, like she was into like anime and stuff like that, and I'm not used to hanging out with people like that. So I thought that was cool, because you know, you have like certain friends for certain things. Like I know Amber was not the type of person that I could call on a Friday night and be like, hey, after the game, let's go to such and such house to go to a kickback. Like she just was not that friend. Like you got certain friends for certain things, and 9 times out of 10 you don't want to like mix the two friends, the two groups, whatever. You don't want to mix the friends together. So we started hanging out, and at first it was just like, oh, she would come over to my house for a sleepover, oh, I would go over to her house for a sleepover, and then we started like going to the movies together, we started going to the mall and stuff like that. Like we just was hanging out. So one day she had called me and she was like, what are you doing today? Like I want to go to like this little, it was like some like little scrimmage like football thing. Like I don't know exactly like what it was, because it was not during football season. I know that for a fact, because it was like starting to get like hot outside, and like football season is like the beginning of the year. So I can't remember like exactly what it was called. That's really not important. Just know she wanted to go to this little event, and she asked me did I want to go, but I knew she was only asking me, well, partially why she was asking me is because I had my license, I had a car, and she did too, but her parents were just very strict. That's another thing I want to point out about Amber. Her parents were very strict, and like, you know, a strict like household, like that creates like a sneaky kid. So just keep that in mind, because that's very important. So her mama was not going for like, oh no, you not taking the car to do nothing, I don't know, blah blah blah. So my mom, on the other hand, like my mom wasn't a cool mom. Well, she was. As long as I like told her where I was gonna be at and answer my phone whenever she called me. Like I didn't have like a curfew per se, but I knew not to like come in the house at like 2 a.m. or nothing like that disrespectful, because I did stay with my grandparents, and my papa definitely wasn't going for none of that. But you know, like as long as I was doing what I was supposed to do in school, like keep your grades up, you know, keep up with your extracurricular activities, like you could do what you want, basically. Mama, if you see this, I didn't know how else to word it, but yeah, okay. So anyway, so I go get her. And also another little side note that I want to point out about Amber. So like I said, she was like very quiet, she was a bookworm, she read a lot, she was into like anime, like stuff like that, like different stuff that like I just was not used to. Also, she dressed a certain type of way. Not saying it's good, not saying it's bad, it's just she had like a lot of the same type of outfits that was like the same vibe, just like a different color or something, okay? Keep this in mind. Every single day, it don't matter if we in school, out of school, weekday, weekend, whatever, she always had like the same vibe. Like it was like a cartoon character, okay? So I'm in the car and I pull up in her driveway, I tell her I'm outside, and she walks out the house, y'all. Amber got her tatas pushed up, a little cleavage showing. She got on some booty shorts. Amber put on a little makeup. And like, don't get me wrong, I'm like, okay, like I want my bitch to look good. Like, yes, Amber, but hold on. It had like caught me off guard. So she got in the car and she was like, hey girl, like you excited? Like I'm ready to go, like da da da. Like she all happy. And I'm like, Amber, I ain't never ever seen you act like this, baby. What is going on? Like she was just like, I just felt like I wanted to like try something different. Like I just want to look good. Like you like it, you like it. I'm like, Amber, you look amazing, babe. You look amazing. But I'm just shocked because I've never ever seen her like show her legs, like show her thighs. Like it was just, I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah, Amber. So whatever. So we head to the little place or whatever, and also I didn't like ask her like, oh, are we like meeting like maybe one of your homegirls out here, like you know somebody who actually like planning this event. Like I didn't like ask her nothing. I'm just excuse me. I'm just vibing. So we drive probably like 30-40 minutes out. We finally get to this big old field where they having a little event at or whatever, and I'm just like following her lead. So we get out the car, and oh, also, hold on, I'm talking too fast. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Before we get out of the car, Amber is all in the mirror. She done put the mirror down. She like pushing up her boob. I'm trying to imitate what Amber was doing. I don't have no boobs. I'm sorry. She pushing up her boobs. I feel like she done ripped her shirt like a little bit more like down the middle to like show a little bit more cleavage. She asking me like, do you have gum or like mouthwash or something? And I'm not thinking she doing this because like she want to be in nobody's face. Like maybe she just don't want her breath to stink. Like, I got some gum. I'm gonna put some gum in my mouth too. Not because I'm gonna be in nobody's face, because also this was around the time that y'all know how I told y'all me and Austin used to be on, off. We was on at this time. And I remember we was on because he was blowing me, because he was asking like why we was going to this little event, and I was just like, I don't know, I'm just going with Amber. He didn't want me to go, and just y'all, I was loyal to that boy even when I wasn't supposed to be. But anyways, so I knew personally I wasn't gonna be in nobody's face. I don't want to be in nobody's face, but you know, like, I'm just here with my friend. I'm here with my cousin. So she all like fixing up herself in the mirror and asking for gum, asking for mouthwash, all of this and that. She asked me, do I have like some body spray, like all of this, and I'm not thinking nothing of it. Like maybe she just wanna look good, smell good, breath fresh, like all of that. Like cool. That's what you supposed to want. So we get out the car, and again, I don't know nobody here. I'm thinking she knows somebody here. That's what I'm assuming. I didn't ask yet though. So we walking for like a couple minutes, and I'm like, so do you know like anybody here, like your family, like you got like a friend or like what? She's like, no, I just seen it on Facebook and I wanted to come. So I'm looking at Amber, and I'm just like, okay. So we get to walking around, and of course, because I told y'all what Amber got on, of course guys are going to come and talk to her because she got everything out. Like, I'm not saying like she's exposing everything, but it's just like guys gonna look, especially like around that time we in high school. Yeah, guys gonna look, guys gonna come up and talk. So we walking around, guys is catcalling her, and I know like I look cute too, but I know like 9 times out of 10 y'all probably doing that to get Amber attention. And plus, like I said, not interested, I'm not trying to be in nobody's face. I got a man, my man got me, and that's just what it is, right? So we walk in, and these two dudes come up to us. Now we are gonna name the dude that Amber was talking to Larry, and we just gonna call Larry homeboy, or Larry homeboy, or he don't need a name. So Larry come up to Amber, spitting game, she eating it up. Larry homeboy come up, try to talk to me. I did it real quick though, and I'm just like, I'm flattered, but I got a man, like I'm not even interested, no nothing. And surprisingly, he was like very cool. Like you would think like a guy would like keep pushing or be like, oh, your man don't let you have friends or nothing. Like I told him like I wasn't interested, I got a man, and that was it. We just continued talking. By the time I knew it, like time was going by, we got to like cracking jokes on people. Like we talking about people like walking by, we cracking jokes on each other. Like he was real cool, y'all. Like, and it wasn't even like he was trying to like be funny or nothing. Like, oh, I'm still trying to like get you to want to talk to me or nothing. Like we was really just kicking it. Like we laughing, joking. And by the time I look around, so keep in mind, Larry and Amber, like they on the side of us, but like kind of behind us a little bit, because like I'm leaned up on the fence, and so is Larry homeboy, and they still beside us, but kind of like behind us. Like we would have to like turn our heads and look back. So we get to cracking jokes and laughing and kikiing, and next thing you know, I turn around and I look, Amber is gone. Larry is gone. So I'm tapping the homeboy. I'm like, did you see when they like walked away? So he was like, nah. So I'm looking around. It's like a concession stand like on the opposite side of the field. But the way this setup was, it was like you could see without actually going close to the concession stand who was over there. I did not see her. So I'm looking all around the field. I'm looking, like turning my head, looking behind me, looking to see if she in the bleachers. Like I don't see her. So I'm looking at my phone. I don't have no missed calls. I don't have no text messages, no nothing. So I'm already like feeling this type of way, because why would you just walk away from me and not say nothing, and you here with me and I'm here with you and you the only person that I know? Like, granted, yes, I was cracking jokes and talking to Larry homeboy, but he don't know me like that and I don't know him like that. So why would you just like walk away? That's strike one with me. That's strike one. So I'm talking to him and I'm like, where could they have gone? So he started laughing. And one thing about me, I hate when people start laughing around me and I don't know what's funny. Because are you laughing at me or like what? Like, I don't know if that's just like an insecurity thing or what, but I just don't like when people have like inside jokes or they start laughing and I'm the only one who don't know what's funny. So I'm like, what? So he just cracked it up and he like, nah, man, it can't be. So I'm like, what? Like, what can't be? Like, what? So he just like, nah, hell nah, it can't be. So at this point, I'm getting irritated. Cause what can't be? What's funny? I want to know the joke. Please tell me the joke. So he like, come on, let's go this way. So I'm like, okay. So I'm following him and I'm like, where are we going? So he like, I'm going to see if they went back to the car where we parked at. So I'm like, why would they go back to the car? So when he started laughing again, I'm like, oh no, not my friend, not my cousin. Because like I said, y'all, at this point, I don't know that she's like boy crazy or she does stuff. Like, I don't know that about her. Like, all I know is Amber be in the library all the time, reading books, watching anime. And she, you know, like she's very quiet and to herself, or what I'm assuming. At this, so I'm just like, no, why would they be like in the car? Like, that don't make no sense. So he started cracking up. So he was like, you want to make a bet? So I'm so confident in Amber, y'all. I'm so confident in my friend, in my cousin. And I'm like, hell yeah, let's make a bet. Because there's no way that my cousin she just met your friend. She just met Larry. Like, there's no way. There's no way. So we bet. We shake hands. We bet like $20, y'all. I'm so confident in my cousin. I'm so confident. I'm like, no, you just gonna, that's a free dub for me, because there's no way. So I'm asking him, like, where did y'all park at? And he like, we parked like closer, like all the way at the end of the field. Like, it was like really no cars beside their car, whatever. So I'm like, what kind of car? And he tells me it's a black Camaro. So we walking for a little while. Actually, they parked hella far. So we walking. And I'm, you know, scanning the field, because everybody parked like in the grass, like on the field. I'm scanning the field and I see a black Camaro. And I see the black Camaro. As we're walking up, I see it rocking, like back and forth. And it's not like a steady like rock, like on a rhythm. Like, it's like it will rock and then it will like stop a little bit, and then it will rock a little harder. And then it will stop a little bit and it will rock again. So we walking up to the car. We didn't get close to it, by the way. And I stop in my tracks and I'm looking. And he looking at me like, why did I stop? And then he see the car. So he's dying, laughing like, you owe me $20. You owe me a dub. Like, you owe me money. I told you. I knew it. So my cousin Amber left me at this place, at this event that I don't know nobody at. Don't know where I'm at for real. You don't really know where we at. You talk about you seen this on Facebook. You don't know nobody here. You left me with the homeboy of a guy that both of us just met like 20 minutes ago. When Larry introduced himself to you, Larry introduced himself to me too, along with the homeboy. We don't know these men. So it's just like, you left me without text, call, whatever. Like, I still probably would have been like feeling some type of way, even if she did tell me like, I'm finna go with him real quick. It's like, why is you doing that? But like, the fact that you didn't say anything to me and you just left to go hump on this boy in his car, I'm flabbergasted, y'all. I'm flabbergasted. So I'm just sitting there with like my mouth on the ground, jaw dropped. So he like, come on. So I'm like, what you mean, come on? So he like, let's just act like we don't know nothing and see if they lie. So I'm like, no, I can't do that. Like, I'm the type of person, well, it depends. Certain things that people have told me, I would never tell anybody. Like, that's going to the grave with me. But this, like, I can't just sit on this information and act like I don't know, like, what she did. Like, no. So he like, if you keep your mouth closed and you act like you don't know, you don't owe me $20 no more. So I'm like, I get to keep my money. Okay, I'ma just act like I don't know. I really like can't sit on this information. Like, I damn near wanted to just walk up to him and treat him like a stranger and be like, hey, I just found out that my cousin left me to go hump on a boy in his Camaro that she met like 10 seconds ago, and she in there getting her cheeks clapped, and I just don't know what to do, and I feel some type of way. Whew. Glad I got that out. Like, I need to tell somebody, but he was just like, you keep your money if you keep your mouth closed. So I'm like, bet. So we walk back to where the little event is going on, y'all. We done walked to the concession stand. He done bought me a soda and a pickle. We done took a lap around the little thing, y'all. They was gone for a long time, like an hour. Imagine that, an hour. So we finally get back to the spot where we were standing at when they had walked away. I'm assuming whatever they did. I don't know if they ran away, skipped away, stopped, drop, and roll. I don't know what they did, y'all. I didn't see nothing. Nobody told me nothing. So we standing there, whatever. We leaned up on the fence and we just laughing about it. And I'm just like, I did not know. Like, so he was just like, that's the type of time that your friend on. Like, really, like, he was trying to like talk crap about her, and I'm just like, okay, I know that's not the best decision, but number one, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. That's your prerogative. And I told y'all in previous videos before, like, I don't believe in the whole birds of a feather flocks together thing, because like, just because you a hoe don't mean that I'm a hoe. I'm just a friend of a hoe. I'm not saying Amber was a hoe. I'm saying like other people in the past, but just like, no. So he's just looking at me like, if that's how she giving it up, and I'm just like, no, nope, 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 nope. I didn't even know that she did stuff like that. Like, my sweet poor Amber, I'm thinking that she still got her innocence. Like, I didn't know that that's what she was into. So whatever. They walk back up, and Larry goes to dap up the homeboy, and they just stand there smirking at each other. And I'm looking at the homeboy, and I'm trying not to like look at him, because I don't want to bust out laughing to blow my cover, because we supposed to act like we don't know what's going on, right? So they walk up, and I say something like, oh, where y'all been? And she was just like, oh, we just stepped away to talk real quick. And I'm not saying that like Amber had to tell me like what they was doing, like what was y'all talking about, because that didn't look like talking to me. But okay, so I'm not saying like she had to tell me, but you would think like by this time like we like best friends and we like best cousins. So I'm not understanding. I don't get it. So you could tell she was just like very like just standoffish, and she was like, you ready to go? And I'm like, you want to leave? So she like, yeah. So I'm like, okay, keep in mind the game or the little event or whatever is still going on. We've been there for what, like they was gone for like an hour, and before that we was only there for like 20-ish minutes. To me, how far I drove out and how much gas that I'm wasting like round trip, that just was not worth it to me. I at least want to see who win the game. Like, even though I don't know nobody here, like I was still having a good time with Larry homeboy. So she ready to go or whatever, and I'm just like, well, okay then, I guess like if my friend ready to go, she just ready to go, I'm just take the L, because what can I do? So I get to, I go to hug Larry homeboy, and I hug Larry, and I say bye to them or whatever. She didn't say bye to Larry. She didn't say bye to the homeboy. Like, it was just very weird. Like, she started walking away, like, ahead of me. So I'm going to, like, run and, like, catch up with her, and I, like, look back, and they're dying laughing, y'all. Like, they're dying laughing, and the homeboy, like, eyes with me, and I'm just like, no, because I don't want to start laughing and then she thinks that I know something. So I'm still acting oblivious. Like, she don't know that I know this information. So it's just very quiet on the ride back home. I'm having a little car concert. I'm singing my music. She's not talking. I asked her like, oh, you want to go get something to eat or something? Like, you want to do something else? Like, we could do something. Like, I don't have no plans for the rest of the night. Like, what? So she was like, no, I just want to go home. So I'm like, okay, maybe she feels bad that she did that with him, or like I don't know, like I don't know, but I can't say that like, oh, I seen you humping on that boy in the car. Like I just didn't want to say that. Like if she felt comfortable telling me that, then she was gonna tell me, but I guess she just wanted to forget about it, and I get it. So okay, that was the first situation. And also I don't want to say anything, and also I'm still feeling away because like you left me to go hump on a boy. Like what the fuck? So fast forward some time. By this time, Amber has a boyfriend. We're gonna call her boyfriend. Dang, when I was thinking about this story, I had to Frederick. We're gonna call him Frederick. Don't ask why I thought of that name. It's just a very random name. It's nowhere near his real name. I should use his real name because he was terrible, y'all. But whatever. She's just gonna have to find out the hard way. So remember how I said in the beginning how she was like very weird about stuff, like with the whole cheerleading situation. Also, she would want to like hang out on Friday nights. Now obviously I cannot hang out on Friday nights because I'm cheering on Friday nights. I can't hang out with you. So I would just always be like, what is her thing about like Friday nights? Like we could do something on Saturday night. Like it's not that big of a deal. Like I just didn't understand. And also I know somebody gonna be like, oh, well, you could have hung out with her like after the game. But after the game, like I was still with like, you know, like the same people. Like Nye was a cheerleader too, and then like we would hang out with like the athletes. They would like throw kickbacks and stuff like that. So I was with like that type of crowd on Friday nights. And like I said, I didn't want to like mix the two because I knew Amber, well, now knowing what I know about Amber, she probably would have fit right in. But before then, I'm thinking like, no, she's not into stuff like that. Like I'm not even gonna drag her out the house and hang around people that she don't really know like that, and da da da. But anyways, so she would just always like make it seem like I'm purposely choosing not to hang out with her on Friday nights. And I'm just like, what is your thing about Fridays? Like who cares? Like it's really not that big of a deal, right? So I'm just like, anything that you want to do on a Friday, we can do the next day on the Saturday. It's not that big of a deal. So we had these things called bye weeks, which basically means it's no game and you don't have to cheer. So the very first bye week, because I was always telling her like, I'm sorry, like I can't, like we could do something the next day if you want to. She would always say no. So I started like feeling bad, even though obviously I have no control over it, but it's just like, I'm sorry, like I feel bad, my friend want to hang out. Like maybe she can only hang out on Friday nights. That's why she's so pressed to do something. So I'm like, okay, like the first bye week that we have, I'm gonna tell you like way off in advance, and we gonna do something on a Friday night. So she knew. Like I sent her a picture, like, well, she already had like the schedule. It's not like I sent her like my specific schedule. Like she knew the football schedule or whatever. So she knew whenever we had a bye week, like we didn't have a game or nothing. So we planned on like doing something that weekend. It was gonna be real cute. I forgot like what specifically we planned to do, but I was like really excited. So keep in mind, she knew this well off in advance, right? So say on like Monday, we talking about it, we so excited, like, oh my gosh, we're gonna have so much fun this weekend, like da 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 da. It's like Thursday night, and I'm at home like doing homework or something, and she texts me, and she just like, oh, excuse me. She like, we're gonna have to reschedule because Frederick just told me, as in like just told me, like if she texted me on a Thursday night, he texted her that Thursday night and said he wanted to have like some indoor like movie night or something like that. The same girl, she want to go to this movie night with her boyfriend. The same girl who just don't like being in the house. Like she want to find any and every excuse to get out the house. But your boyfriend texts you and say he want to do a movie night all of a sudden, and now you got to reschedule. And you already know that we don't have a lot of off weeks. Like we probably had like 1 or 2 the whole season. So if you knew that you always feel some type of way, and I'm purposely like prioritizing you and making time for you, and then you want to reschedule, even though it's not a reschedule because we can't reschedule. Like I'm not going to have another bye week. So I was just like, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, that had irritated me like so bad, because I'm just like, why would you make such a big deal about us hanging out, and then when I make time for you, you want to reschedule? and go be with your boyfriend. Something that you've been doing. Because it's like she always with her boyfriend. When I'm at my games, when I'm cheering, you with your boyfriend. That just did not sit right with me, and I'm not gonna lie, I was just very, very, very irritated. I remember that night I had went to Mercedes' house and I was just telling her about it. I was just so irritated. Like, Amber was texting me and I was not texting her back, y'all. She was double, triple, quadruple texting me like, are you upset? Like, are you mad? Like, I can tell him to go home and I could just come to your house. I'm telling her like, nah, I'm not home. Like, I'm being like very like dry and short with her. So I'm just like, nah, I'm not home. You good. Enjoy time with your guy. Like, I don't care. Me and Mercedes had already like figured out plans at this point. We was going to some party. We was going to pick up Nye. I'm trying to call Sparkle. Like, the gang's back together. Like, Amber, I don't need you no more. Like, you done blew me. Like, you done pissed me off. I don't need you. Like, I don't want to hang out. I'm just like, no, I don't want to hang out. So she kept asking like, am I mad? Am I mad? And I'm just like, you wanted to be with your boyfriend so bad. Why are you blowing up my phone if y'all supposed to be giving each other y'all's undivided attention since you was so pressed to go hang out with him? Why are you in my phone like this? So I just stopped texting back, y'all. I put my phone on D&D or whatever I did, and I just stopped texting back. We had a ball that night. I should make that into a story time. I could make that into a story time. What we did that night, y'all. We had a blast. I thought I saw a bug. We had a blast that night. We had a blast. We had a time. But anyways, so that was strike 2, right? Now let's come to strike 3, because honestly, I'm not even sure how she made it to strike 3, because you played in my face twice in a row at this point. I don't even be giving people a chance to play in my face one time, but you played in my face twice, and the fact that I was still open to like being your friend speaks a lot for me. But I feel like I played myself because I should have just cut her off after that. Like, you cannot do nothing without being around a boy. Like, it don't matter if it's your boyfriend or not. Like, I don't need to be around Austin all the time. Like, I don't need to be in his face. Like, don't you think I could have blew you off to go be with my man at the time? Like, I didn't do that to you. So, okay. So, she's still with Frederick. Frederick is a terrible, terrible, terrible person, y'all. Like, I'm not even gonna get into his tea, but just know, like, everybody knew how much of a dog ass that he was. Treated her terribly, cheated on her, like, just so much stuff. But hey, if that's who you want to be with, that's who you want to be with. You just gonna have to learn for yourself. You're gonna have to learn the hard way. So one day I had called her. This was around the time that I had just got a brand new car, and I was so excited, y'all. I was so excited. I just wanted to be outside. Like, any excuse to drive that car. You need me to go run up the street to the store real quick to get you some eggs to my grandma. Yeah, I got you. You need me to run an errand for you, Mom? You need me to go to the post office or something? What you need? I got you. Like, any excuse, any and every excuse I could use to burn up my gas in that car and just be seen in that car, I was doing it. Like, I did not care. And I was most excited about this car because, so my mom had a minivan. I'm so ashamed telling this. My mom had a minivan before she got like her next 2 vehicles or whatever. And yes, I had my license and all of that, but I was driving the minivan, y'all. And I was very embarrassed about driving the minivan. But also, the minivan didn't have like Bluetooth or aux or nothing. So I had to get, I don't know if y'all ever seen this, but it's like, it had like a tape player, and like you put the tape in the tape player, and then it has like the aux connected to the tape player, and that's how you put it in your phone. I was doing that, and I just remember in my new car, in my Mazda, it had like the regular aux. So I was just so excited because like the music was louder, it was more clear. Like, I was like rolling down all of my windows, like blasting my music. Like, I was just so excited. So I call up Amber. Now look, y'all, look, I'm calling up Amber, knowing that I got Nye, I got Mercedes, I got Sparkle, I got other best friends that I could call up in a heartbeat. Hey, we outside. I'm finna come get you. They like, bitch, I'm at the door. I call up Amber. hey girl, what you doing? Where you at? What you on today? She like, nothing. I'm not at home right now. Like, why, what's up? I'm telling her, like, my mom just got a new car. She gave me this car. Like, I got the new car. I'm trying to be outside. I'm trying to be in traffic. I'm trying to be in the streets. Like, what's up? So she like, bet, that sounds like a plan, right? Like, I'm gonna be home in like an hour. So I'm like, okay, perfect. That gave me time to, you know, like put on a little eyebrow, put on a little makeup, get a cute little outfit together. Like, I don't know where we going. We going somewhere though. We gonna be outside somewhere. So I'm like, okay, that gave me time to kill. She said like an hour. I even waited like a few minutes, like over an hour. So like 20 minutes past like the hour mark or whatever. And you would think if something happened, you would call me, you would text me, you would say, hey, I thought I was going to be home at this time. I'm not home yet, da 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 da. So I'm not assuming anything has changed. She told me a little more than an hour ago she was going to be home in an hour. So I'm giving you extra time to, you know, like if you got to like freshen up, get ready, whatever you need to do, I'm giving you time to do that. So I head to her house like an hour and a half later, y'all. She stayed right up the street. It took me literally like 30 seconds, not even like 15 seconds to get to her house. I pull up in the driveway. I see that her parents' car is not home, but I see that there's lights on in the house. I'm just like, oh, okay, maybe her parents just like went somewhere or whatever, but she told me she was gonna be home, so I beat the horn. Y'all, and nobody coming out. I wait like a couple minutes. So I beat the horn again, and I should have got out and like knocked on the door. But normally, like whenever I used to go to her house, I just used to like walk in, because like this is my family at the end of the day. So I just used to walk in. I don't know why I didn't this day. I just did it. So I get to texting her, and I'm like, I'm outside. No response. Y'all, I text her, I called her, she didn't answer. She called me right back, like literally, like I got the voicemail, I hung up, she called me right back. I'm like, hey, I'm outside. So she was like, oh, I'm not home yet. I'm with Frederick. I didn't know that we was going to do something after I hung up with you, and I forgot to tell you. Now, somebody could say, well, Lauren, this was like spur of the moment plans. Maybe she already had plans. Like, you can't get like mad at her because this was like very last minute. Normally, I would agree with you, right? But you told me you were gonna be home in an hour. You didn't say who you were with. You didn't tell me your location. You didn't say how far away you were from our hometown. You didn't tell me nothing. You just said, okay, I'm down. I want to go with you. I'm going to be home in an hour. If you knew you weren't going to be home in an hour, why would you then not call me back and say, can we push it back, or can we just do it another time, or I can't go? Do you know how fast I would have been up that country road to Mercedes' house? Do you know how fast I would have went to Nye's house and got her? Do you know how fast I would have called Sparkle? So it's like you let all of this time pass, y'all. Because keep in mind, I passed the hour mark. Like it was like an hour and a half later. You didn't think to call me or text me, send me a bat signal, message in a bottle, something like a chain letter, a chain email. Like you didn't think to tell me nothing, and you let me waste all of this time. I done wasted the outfit. I wasted makeup. I wasted the little piece of gas. I know somebody gonna be like, but you just said she lived like right up the road. Okay, but I still burnt gas. All for a guy. And like, I would be okay if I knew that like she didn't see him like that, or like she just trying to get like all the time she can like in with him because she don't see him like that. Like I would understand that. But y'all, when I tell y'all, whenever I was doing cheer stuff or at practice or at a game or something, that's what she was spending her time with. She was spending more time with Frederick than she was with me. I was very confused. I'm irritated. I'm angry at this point. I go back home. I don't even want to go out no more. I don't want to do nothing. I go back home. My mama like, what happened? Like, so I'm telling my mama and my grandma like all her tea. I'm telling her what she did with Larry. I'm telling her about the last time with Frederick. I'm telling them what just happened just now. So they're like, what? Amber? I'm like, yes, girl, Amber, right. Yeah, Amber. Yeah, she's boy crazy. Literally, she's boy crazy. So, y'all, I'm not even gonna hold you. This was the most silent cutoff I ever did in my life. The most silent cutoff. When I tell you I blocked that girl, I blocked her number, I blocked her on Instagram, I cut her completely off. Completely off. And I never talked to her ever again after that. I'm lying. Well, partially. So I cut her off, and this was around the time, I think I was a junior. Yeah, it had to be, because she was a senior, because she was about to go off to college, and I know I wasn't going to see her like that no more. Cut her off. That year passed. The next year I graduated and I moved, right? So this is now 2 years after the fact. So I remember one day she wrote me on Snapchat. Either I forgot to block her on Snapchat, or she made a new page or something and she found me. I can't remember. Somehow, some way she contacted me on Snapchat, y'all. She sent me this long message on Snapchat. I didn't even read it, y'all. I responded immediately and I said, I'm not finna read all that. And I blocked her. I screenshotted it and I put it on my story. I was being real petty. I was being so petty, but I was just like, this bitch, like, she couldn't, like, she was acting weird. She was acting dizzy over some peen, and I had to cut her. Like, I was really, like, popping shit. I really didn't even have to do that, but I did. But I know she felt some type of way, because I literally, like, was like, I'm not reading all that. And I know she seen it, and I blocked her. And that was that. Never talk to her ever again. Because it's like, I already feel some type of way when people that I'm genuine with, like, play in my face. But it's the fact that, like, you played in my face 3 times over guys. Like, for real? Like, I'm still stuck on the fact that, like, you left me at that little game by myself to go hump on a guy that you just met 2.5 seconds ago. Yeah, I cannot. And, like, if you've ever been around, because she's not the only girl that I've met who acts like this, like, acts so boy crazy. Like, you cannot function without doing something for boy male attention or validation or something. Like, you just gonna leave me to fend for myself? So, like, what if Larry homeboy wasn't cool how he was cool, and he seen somebody that he knew, or he wanted to leave? I was just gonna be there by myself, y'all. In a place that I don't know. I don't know nobody. I didn't feel like unsafe or anything, but, like, anything can happen. Like, don't be so oblivious. Like, I don't put nothing past nobody. Never talk to that girl ever again. Ever again. And I feel like a couple years after that, I heard through the grapevine, because, you know, my town is really small, so everybody know everybody business. You could cut somebody off, block them, whatever, you still gonna know their business, y'all. So allegedly Frederick cheated on her, and he got somebody pregnant, and he had a whole baby on her, and I guess that was like her breaking point, and they broke up or whatever. I don't really know, but yeah. So let me know if you have ever dealt with situations like this. Actually, don't comment it down below. Send a confession in. No, I'm just kidding. Whatever you feel comfortable with. You can send in a confession, or you can just comment it down below. Whatever you feel comfortable with. But let me know if you've ever dealt with boy crazy girls like that. Like, let me know if you've ever had a friend that you had to, like, cut off because it was just, that's just too much for me. Like, and, like, I'd like to think that, like, at one point I was, like, boy crazy, maybe a little bit, but to a certain extent. Like, I'm not gonna just leave my best friend to fend for herself while I go ride a horsey in the car. Like, anyways, I hope you made it to the end of the video, and if you did, you know I love you so much. Give this video a thumbs up if you didn't already. Make sure you are subscribed, comment down below, and I'm gonna see y'all next week for a brand new story time. Bye, y'all.